I was an athlete growing up, but I never saw anybody like me. So ultimately, like, I didn't think I was possible. It hurts. It's hard. Ever since, I've come out, I've just been unapologetically me. On social media, showing my lifting, but also showing my personal life and the love I have for my husband. And I just think that's really important for people to be able to see healthy, loving relationships and people following their dreams and doing what they want to. And have them realize, like, gay, straight, lesbian, trans, it doesn't matter. What you're doing is to make yourself feel good. And ultimately, like, I do have this amazing platform to show the world that my sexual orientation has absolutely no bearing on what I can do as a strongman athlete.
Trying to put himself in the lead if he can lift this.
Pride for me isn't just a month. It is my entire life. It is who I am. It is 365 days a year. But being able to have June as a moment to really showcase amazing LGBTQ plus voices, regardless of the space they are in, and to celebrate diversity and love and inclusion, that's really what Pride Month is all about. Up until 2014, I lived a very heteronormative lifestyle. I was really good at pretending to be somebody I wasn't. And in 2014, really not sure why or what made me have this kind of epiphany, but I had that moment. I just kind of tore down all those walls, and later in that year in 2014 is when I started to accept myself for being a gay man. And October 20th of 2014 is when I officially came out, to the world publicly. And it was one of the most terrifying and empowering moments of my life. To have lived so long as this one person who everybody thought I was, and to kind of flip the script and finally live my true self was so amazing. And it sounds corny, but it really was like this proverbial weight off my shoulders when I was able to say that freely and openly. And through that journey of accepting myself and realizing who I was, it made me a better strength athlete. Because I no longer had to use so much energy to pretend to be somebody I wasn't, and was able to just fully be myself and focus on what I wanted to do and not who I had to be. Up until me, there was no openly gay professional strongman in the space. So I didn't know how it was going to be perceived, right? Like, I didn't know if it was going to be something that was really positive or even career ending, right? Because it can be so polarizing. And I'm so fortunate that Strongman is such an amazing group of athletes that, it kind of is like a brotherhood, especially at the top level, where we all understand the pain and the sacrifice and the time that it takes to get to this level. That, when I came out, the people that were the first ones to support me were the people in the sport. The people that understood the culture of strongman, understand what it takes to be able to do this. So weirdly enough, the hardest part about back squatting for me is warming up my shoulders to be able to grab onto the bar. So I have to hold the plates like out here. Yeah, because my shoulders are so immobile. It's great because I usually pinch the out of my thumbs. Oh, that seems so far. When I came out, it wasn't my goal to be, kind of an influencer and to have influence in this space, or to be kind of that person that people look to. It really was for me, for, you know, my husband, then boyfriend. It was for us to be able to celebrate our love openly and authentically. But what we quickly realized was, you know, the spotlight was kind of thrust upon us really quickly, because being the first of anything is always a big deal. But now we have this platform to really promote inclusivity, equality, and you know, just the loving nature of the sport, and try to project that onto the world. This looks like it would be some kind of alien from like an 80s horror movie. The one thing that people have to remember is, like, coming out is a journey, and you have to do it when you're ready. But also you have to be ready for really kind of like the life-changing explanation of it. And it's weird to say that, but the way I look at it is, you know, as a gay man, you know, I essentially have to come out every single day of my life. And I think that's one thing people don't realize, is when you do come out initially, you want it to just be that one moment and it be over, but it never ends. As confident I am in myself and my relationship, it is still, to this day, a moment of anxiety every time I have to bring it up, because I always have to think in the back of my head, how is this person going to react to that? And I don't think that's something people tell you. It's not something you expect or fully understand as you are coming out for the first time. But just getting more comfortable with yourself, it just becomes easier. You know, for me, I think it really isn't about wins and losses necessarily. For me, I want to leave a legacy that people will remember me for the character I brought to the sport. Every single time I do an event, I have this realization of, holy shit, I get to do this. You know, like, so obviously I want to perform and I want to be my best and I want to win. But, you know, when I'm able to look up into the crowd of 10,000 people and have that realization that I am lucky enough to do this and compete in front of these amazing fans that want to come see me, I want them to feel that as well. And that's really what I hope people remember from my career. I feel like this could be my Anchorman moment. Hey, everybody, come see how good I look.
Absolutely.